Hello and welcome and welcome to my round 9 review. I apologize that it's taken this long to get out, but as you can probably tell by my appearance, it's been quite a busy, long, tiring weekend. I've had a lot on, so just getting this done now. Hopefully upload it tonight. But this week was average. It was average. We had lots of potential, and I'll tell you one thing that kept us from getting a massive score, and one thing that saved my score. So this week we got 2,372. Could be worse. I could be in a worse spot, but when I'm seeing this red rank change every week, even though I think I'm making some ground up, disheartening. But we saved a trade last week to come into this week. Still in the top 7%, but I want to get into the top 10k mark by the buys. That was my plan, and so far it's not looking likely yet. But it's okay. It's a fine score. And we go to on field, and we'll go straight into it because I want to keep this short and sweet. I'll tell you the red flags about this week before I go into each player, their review. So, short was a late out 20 minutes before the game started. So, not much you can do about that. I'm not watching all news AFL related 20 minutes from the bounce, and that's when he injured. I think it was his hamstring injury in the warm ups to the game or something like that. Calf or hamstring, something like that. That's something you just can't deal with on a normal basis. It's just unlucky. I was looking to move him on last week, but it didn't happen. So we had to cop the 46 trainer. The one week that he has an off week trainer, get the 46, of course. I did win in my league matchup, thank God, most of them. But there's a couple scores in here which are just should not be happening on a team this far into the year. So Huswaite 27, I had the faith to play him on field again, and that was a mistake. Caleb Daniel 51 is becoming a real problem. Bice and Roberts just flipping from their hundreds to the 70s to the hundreds to the 70s. It's like a roller coaster with Roberts at the moment, but we'll go straight into it. So she's a 101 against Brisbane Lions. It's fine. You take 101, I think. Same as Wangani Malira. He got injured at one point, came off and had some work done, and then came on and still popped out at 103. I think he was killing it up to half time and then had that injury and then kind of cooled off a bit. Roberts, it's getting a bit frustrating, but I feel like that's just one we have to cop with and keep because we know his ceiling scores are really high. Short, I don't know what the injury is, so I'm going to have to do some more research on that, but he's a real big option to move on this week. He wasn't providing much for me anyway, so it might be a trade option this week. Then we have Reed, which Reed is a godsend, but everyone on his dog has him, so he's one of the only dudes that's still making decent cash. 133 is ridiculous, and he's so safe to play on field. It's not funny. And by 71, still good by rookie standards, but he is losing money now, if you can see. So I think his break even goes up to about 100 or so now. Could be a real option to move on this week as well. Trainer 46. He's going up in price because that 2 came out of his price cycle. That sub game, which is good. So even though he got a 46, you still hold on to him. And then Carroll didn't play. Blues are a bit banged up, so he has a chance of playing this week. So hold on to him. Dacos 76 is really disappointing. I knew that he doesn't play particularly well against Freo, but I had faith and put the vice on him. I don't have Brayshaw. A lot of people had Brayshaw and took the Vice, which is a good score, or 150. As you can see here, there's one glaring thing that I lucked out and made my score salvageable this week because most of my big guys didn't have that great of a game. Merritt 76 also he was held, I think. I'm not sure if he had a tagging role. I think he was tagged by Jordan and then went forward to break the tag, so another one you've just got to... It's a Merit. They're going to tag him. You just got to cop it. Sarong 104. He's just becoming the 100 dude. That's all he scores. He hasn't scored anything super ridiculous. He hasn't scored anything super poor. He's just the 100 guy at the moment. But I did buy him at his highest price, which is a mistake when I could have had Brayshaw. But here's what it is. Rosie. Thank you, Rosie. I knew he was going to have a big week, but I didn't think it would be this big. He bounced back for me definitely after last week, having that lull score, but 134 is amazing. Callahan should have a higher score than this, I think. He was pivotal in the Giants' win against the Cats in that last quarter. He was amazing, but he only scraped by from a 104. I think he was not great up until that point, and that really pushed his score up. Ashcroft, he's fine. 94, I think he could have got a bit more against the Roos, but is what it is. Dunkley and Zorko were snatching all the easy ones, so fair enough. That's going to be shared around with them in between weeks. Ashcroft, 77, he was on a higher score at one point, but then he got benched, I think, and then got scaled down. 77 is still fine and definitely playable in your field. Nothing to do there, nothing to move on. Huswaite, 27, hurts his growth a lot, but I feel like he is the only option from the past couple of weeks, so everyone has him as well. We're just going to have to deal with that. Lindsay, 71, good. Should have taken it over Huswaite, but hindsight's great. He's still making money. You're holding him. Kako, 30. His break-even's gone up. I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it this year, but he's only at a 230, so it's not a whole lot of money made. Kako is just... He's been disappointing. He hasn't really had a big game this year. I think one of his highest scores has been a 70, which is not great. And Hole, I thought he would come back in potentially this week, or round 9, didn't. So he's always an option to come back this week. But even if he doesn't, he's always a good loophole option because West Coast, as you can see, they usually have the later games because it's West Coast. Then we go to the big man, Jerry, 186. That is outstanding. I was watching the game and I had fan footy up next to the game and I just saw his score go up and up and up and up. And I think at one point, like second half, first half I was sad. He was on about 50 and I was like, this is going to be, I'm going to lose my matchups in all my leagues. I'm going to drop by the thousands. And then he just came out and he went up and up and up. And the big man, Jerry, saved my week this week with a 186 captain score. You couldn't choose a better captain. It was my last hope, as you can see from the day cost, 76. De Koning, 104. He's becoming another one of those 104, 100 dudes. You would really rather a Gorn in that slot, and I'm going to have to try and look to see if I can get Gorn in that slot. Bailey Smith, the piggy, was racking him up. He's good. When he kicks well and he's efficient, he's going to have massive scores, but a lot of games he's accumulating disposals, 30 plus, but his efficiency isn't the greatest, so he's limited in that factor. But when he has those big games, he kicks efficiently. It's going to be a big score, so he's a must-have this late in the later part of Supercoach. Rankin I brought in last week, 97. It was looking even worse at one stage, but then he kicked those 2 late ones against us, and then his score went up a bit. So it was looking not like a great trade for a while, but happy with the 97. I'll take that. He's probably a must-have in your forward line as well. Horn Francis. The thing with Horn Francis is he doesn't have a lot of touches because Hinkley rests him forward a lot. He loves playing him full forward. I think he started full forward against the Crows this week, but all his touches are just sublime. What he does with the ball is sublime. He loves to run with it as well, which is great for Supercoach scoring. Even if he gets 18 touches or so, you can still expect to score around the 100 mark. So it's fine. That's good. McRae, 79, disappointing again. He's a roller coaster pick again, but everyone has him once again. He came from that 160. He went from like 70 to 160 to 70 again this week. We just roll the punches with McRae, I think, because it's that average of 111 still great. Marich, he's turning into a keeper. He is one of the best picks I've had all year. I know a lot of other coaches had this pick as well, but it's a decent pick. Caleb Daniel is a problem. I was thinking about trading him last week. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video, but in hindsight, I was thinking Caleb Daniel, I don't feel like he's a keeper, and those are the types of players I want to start moving on, like Daniel, who I don't think is going to be in my final team, but there might be no other option but to keep him this week because I've got other problems to worry about, like Short and Bice is at the top of his money making, whereas Daniel, I think he can climb back up to this mark. He's going to lose money that's for sure. But it's some real options, and I'll have to dwell on them over the weekend. In my final trades video, I'll update you all. Hewitt, 33, disappointing. Was nowhere near it, and I saw a lot of coaches play him on field, thinking he would continue that like 90 stretch that he had, but 33 is not good. He could get dropped, honestly. Cleary, 35, also not great. So, as you can see, our rookie options are very thin, and there's not much money being made at all. I don't want to be playing a rookie on field anymore, but I'm having to do that. And out of the options here, I think Lindsay's the safest, but even then he pops out his 40s and 50s as well. And then finally, Flynn. I held Flynn because I just thought against Nank usually leaks a lot. Then Bailey Williams also got named, and I was like, they're going to be dual rucking. I'm not keen, but I still held because I thought there's still some money to be made if he gets past his break even. He only just made his break even, so he made 4k extra. I'm not sure what his break even now is. Let me get it up quickly because this is important. Okay. His break even is 97, and against Rowan Marshall, I don't see it happening. A 97 break even is quite high. Likelihood 56%. I'd say probably 30%. If you hold him for another week, it's not the worst. I think that he's only going to lose a couple thousand, to be honest. I don't think he's going to put out another 60. That is if he gets... Hopefully he gets another game at the main ruck role, because he doesn't look horrible out there. So that's that. Lots of problems that I have to feel. Lots of underperforming premiums when other dudes have their Brayshaws and those types of dudes. Other dudes have their a really bad pod non-pod right now is Whitfield. Don't have Whitfield. That's a problem. I know Lockie Neal annoyed a lot of dudes as well. Don't have that problem. Going off early trades this week, I was thinking depending on what short status is, I'm gonna move him regardless, because there's a man on here that I've been looking at all year, and I think this is his lowest price right now, and that is Jack Sinclair. I wanted to get a roll watch on the weekend because I know they said they were going to be switching forward sometimes, or maybe it had a different sort of role, but it wasn't to be. He had his normal role, and 124 is good. I think he's going to be one of the solid dudes to have the back here. Only problem is my buy structure when I've got Wanganeen, Milera, Sinclair, and McRae. That's something I have to worry about, but I'm not too worried about the buys. I don't have premium, so I'm just going to deal with the buys when they come here. I'm not the dude to come to if you want to look at buys, even though I should be preparing for it. I know a lot of teams that play in the same one. There's a really annoying buy, so I want to get Sinclair in. You jump on this week, or you don't jump on at all, I think. Or you wait till after the buy, potentially. He might not go up in that much price, but I need to move on this dude. He's pissing me off. And then it's probably Bice or Caleb Daniel. I have saved my boost, so I can boost this week if I really want to. But before I go ahead and do any boosts, I'm going to be doing some more research in the week to see what the buys look like and who I should be bringing in to set myself up for some good buys. I'm just trying to get this video out there now, so I haven't done that yet. So let's just say short for Sinclair. Can't do that because I've got some cash left over. Bice out. There's no one here that I really want, but there was this. I feel like I want to get in. What's this dude's name? He's not on here, but there's a dude that costs 99k and he played last week. Forgot his name. I can't see it. I don't know off the top of my head, but he is one I want to get in because there's no other options. I just want to get a dude that's the basement price. Let's just say Kako. Get Kako out of here for now. I think he is in the midfield. Boxall. Lots of people jumped on Boxall way too early, and he popped out at 38. Is what it is. Here he is. Archer Day Wicks. Only a 33, but as you can see, another 8.8% of coaches have done it. He is basement price. He's got that DPP mid forward. He can rotate with them both, which is handy when you're switching around dudes. I wish he was defense mid. I needed a couple defense mids, but there's not much defense mids out there, so Archer Day Wicks for Kako. Do that one, which will then allow us to go from short to Sinclair. Boom. Which leaves us with 100,000 to play with. I could use a boost and upgrade a bias, but there's no other options around that 475,000 mark that I really are interested in. Let's just have a look, hey? Players I can afford. Yeah, look at that. The best option I can afford is Blakey, and I'm not bringing in Blakey, that's for sure. Jed Buse, 172k, but at 95. Probably not an option, but if he has a big week next week, Houston, he has just not had the role they had at Port, which is sad because he would be. I was going to pick him up at the start of the year. Then after his suspension, because he had to serve more of his suspension from last year, but he's had a bad run of 3 games, hasn't he? Yeah, he's not even on the list. So not an option. Look at that. Zach Reed, 3 on average at the top there. So that's not really an option. I could do a Caleb Daniel move. It gives me 540k to play with, which could let me bring in the big Chad Warner, who has got that DPP. Or what mids can I afford? I can afford Dunkley. That's crazy. Okay, I might play with this boost later with the money I have. I think these are the 2 trades I'm locked in for this week because I need to get rid of Short. He's annoying the hell out of me. But Caleb Daniel out is a real option. And I could prepare myself for the buys coming by bringing in a player that I need to fill a role or something. I'll just have to look at the buys. But that's that this week. Nothing amazing. I'll be reporting back on the Thursday night. Gold Coast B, Hawthorn. Oh, my captain options this week. Let's have a quick look. Oh, yeah. Who's playing early? Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Sydney, Carlton. The earliest I'm going to go that I feel confident in is probably Dacos again. Just keep the Vice and Dacos. And then I'm going to just roll with the same captains I got this week. Nick does leak points to the good ruckman. And I feel like Nick's due a big one. And my other options are... I don't have any big options that are playing early like this. I'm not going to put De Koning. He's not reliable enough. Roberts or Bice, no. Don't have any Gold Coast players, which is crazy. I should probably think about bringing in Gold Coast, maybe like a Tuke Miller or a Anderson pot option. And Hawthorn, I've got no Hawthorn except Huswaite, which is not an option this week. So I'm going to swap Lindsay on field for Huswaite. I just can't trust him anymore after that score. Yeah, that's what I roll with this week. So I'll be updating you later on Thursday. My season so far is going okay. Nothing special, but we can build. All right. Thank you for watching. Signing out. Go to the power.